If I would tell you that there is no border between the Netherlands and Germany, you probably think I'm crazy. And, well, you're absolutely right. Of course, there is a border between the Netherlands and Germany. It's 567 kilometers long, to be precise, and it starts in the south, near the German town of Aachen, and it ends in the north at a bay called the Dollard, which is the place I'm standing right now. But, well, this place right here is also the place where the whole border situation gets a little bit complicated. If you take a closer look at the map, you will see the land border between the Netherlands and Germany ends right here, at this bay. On the one side you have the Netherlands, on the other side there is Germany, and over here in the sea we have all those small islands. Borkum, for example, is German, Rottumeroog, for example, is Dutch. But what about this area? The place where the River Ems flows into the sea. And what about the Dollard Bay itself? Is it Dutch? Or German, or both of it? Well, that is exactly the problem, because nobody really knows. In fact, somewhere here in the water, there is no real border between the Netherlands and Germany, because both countries cannot agree where this border actually is. But why is that? What is the reason for this strange Dutch-German border dispute, and what problems does this situation cause? Does it even cause any problems? I don't know. Let's find out. The place I am right now is called the province of Groningen in the Netherlands. Or is it the region of Ostfriesland in Germany? Well, actually, you cannot really tell because the border is not visible here. You can just walk from one country to the other on a dike and nothing will stop you. That's how European Union feels like, right? But on the map, of course, there is a border between both countries. It's the result of years of disputes and negotiations and treaties, and especially here in the province of Groningen or Ostfriesland, you can see that if you take a closer look, because there are a few weird places along the border. For example, this place right here. This is a highway, as you can see. On the other side, it crosses the Dutch-German border, and then the border runs right beside the highway, which makes everything quite complicated. On that side over there, we have a normal gas station at a Dutch highway on the Dutch side, but that gas station over there is actually on German ground, which means if you're on this Dutch highway and you want to fill up your car, you actually have to pay German gas prices over there, and over here you pay like the normal Dutch gas prices. Super weird. So, here we are on German ground again. Over there are the Netherlands. This is Germany. As you can see, this is also the Bundespolizei, the police, the German police. And here we have the gas station. In fact, this gas station isn't even active anymore. This whole rest stop right here is a lost place. There is nothing going on here anymore, and to be honest, I couldn't find out why. This place belongs to a German village called Bunde, so I asked them what's going on here, but also the city council couldn't help me. All I know is that this rest stop belonged to a Dutch gas station operator, so this strange border situation could be the reason they gave it up. But in fact, nobody really knows. But yeah, this highway curiosity is nothing compared to the complicated border situation a few kilometers further north, right here at the Dollard Bay. This bay was formed in the year 1509 by a storm surge, and since that day also the border problem exists. Okay. I'm at a small Dutch village called Termunten now, and this is actually a really good place to show you the problem. Let's go to the water. It's a bit slippery here. Okay, here's the problem. Oh, Jesus, it's so slippery here. Germany believes that the border begins basically over here. So if you go down here and take a few steps into the water, then you're basically in Germany. The Netherlands, however, think that the border is much further in the middle of this estuary. So basically it's like this. The Germans think they own all of this and the Netherlands think they own at least a little part of this. Complicated. Well, but why do both countries have such different views on this matter? Well, Germany relies on a letter that was written in the year 1464. And this letter basically says that the whole River Ems is part of the region Ostfriesland. At that time, Imperial Friedrich III made Ulrich Sixena the imperial count of Ostfriesland, and he promised him sovereignty over the Ems. Another leaf letter from the Imperial Ferdinand I from 1558 also states that the Ems is part of the county of Ostfriesland. Therefore, according to German legal opinion, the German-Dutch border still runs on the left bank of the Ems at the low water line. The Netherlands, on the other hand, have a different interpretation. They say this rule has lapsed in the French period, so according to the Netherlands, the border should be at the center of the river at the so-called Talweg, the deepest point of the Ems. And this strange border dispute still exists today. Until today, nobody really knows where the Dutch-German border really is. Is it here or over there? I don't know, you don't know, nobody knows. And this also caused a few problems in the past. In the year 2011, for example, the German energy group EWE planned to build an offshore wind park near the island of Borkum. The construction was approved under German law, but the Netherlands complained that 4 of those wind turbines were actually on Dutch territory. So there were many discussions about this, and the old border conflict suddenly was back. Fortunately, conflicts like that one are extremely rare. For most of the things happening in this water area right here, there are contracts between the Netherlands and Germany, so actually there is no need to know where the border really is. In 1962, for example, an agreement was concluded that regulates the joint extraction of the suspected mineral resources in this area. In the 1980s, the planned construction of the Dollard Harbor in Emden made further negotiations necessary. They culminated in the Ems-Dollard Cooperation Agreement in 1984. However, the port was never built. Another environmental protocol followed in 1996. And on October 24 in the year 2014, 2 important politicians signed an agreement that should end the Dutch-German border dispute forever. Germany's former foreign minister and today's federal president Frank-Walter Steinmeier and the Dutch foreign minister Bert Koenders defined the division of responsibilities between Germany and the Netherlands in relation to wind turbines, cables and pipes, as well as rights of exploitation and use. There is a picture showing both politicians in front of the water with a glass of sparkling wine or champagne or something. After signing the contract, Steinmeier said, "Today we were able to draw a line under an old conflict between Germany and the Netherlands. With this contract, according to Steinmeier, it is not necessary anymore to draw a precise border here." So both countries basically agreed to disagree. Here in the mouth of the Ems, Steinmeier said, you can see very concretely how cooperation instead of differentiation leads to better results on both sides. Germany and the Netherlands show how conflicts can be resolved in a good, neighborly manner. Isn't that a great story, somehow? There's a border conflict going on for hundreds and hundreds of years, and then you just end it with a glass of champagne and a contract. Things should always be that easy. And that was my video about the strange Dutch-German border dispute. If you like this video, if you have learned something, then please leave a thumbs up. You can also hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss any upcoming video. And if you'd like to support me and my work, then please check out the Patreon link in the description, or you can become a member of my YouTube channel. Then you will get exclusive stuff and new videos before everyone else. That's it for today. Have a safe journey and see you next time.